Do you really desire perfection? Heavenletter number 5723. July 26, 2016. What is the matter with something being the matter? What is the matter with life even when it is imperfect? Sometimes you give the impression that everything is supposed to be perfect, and something is really the matter when something is not perfect. From an intellectual mindset, what can be perfect? What is the point of perfection when life is alive and moves right along? Of course, on one level, everything is perfect. It is perfectly what it is. On the surface level of life in the world, you may well feel that life is beset with difficulties. Did you really think that life was supposed to be a formal tea at the Queen's Palace? Is life to serve you tea and crumpets, the tea to be poured from sterling silver into bone china cups, and all guests are to hold up their little fingers as they drink the perfect tea at the perfect temperature? Since when has life not had spilled tea, and, since when, has dust not descended on classic books and comic books alike, on cardboard and fine furniture, and there has been mud on shoes? Since when has everyone's voice been modulated and not a disturbing word is to be heard? Must life be commanded to be something it is not? How do you know that life is to be prettied up? Does even one of my children inalterably know what is best or better for life to be? Is something other than what you have always the ultimate experience? Anyway, you are not here to receive a rehearsed life. When you look back, you may well look back at the past that was at the time not good enough or worse, and now you might relish its wonderfulness, and yearn even for 1 minute of that past back then, just the way it was when it was. Why wait to appreciate the tingle of life in retrospect years later? Spilled milk or not, this moment is perfect. This very moment is precious. How can you be so sure it is not right for rock music to be on the stage at this moment? How can you say that classical music is not right and perfect, just as it is when it is playing? Perhaps everything means more than you let on. You may have disliked school life at that time, but if you could go back there to 2nd grade or 6th grade and sit in your seat at school in a class as you once did, would you say no to being there once again with the whole class in your same seats and the same teacher? You might cry with tears of joy to be there one more time. No one says it was perfect, yet it was yours, and it had a kind of perfection. Your fondness for back then may grow in front of your eyes. It is not only the future that you daydream about. In terms of the more recent past, you may notice that you are fond of someone you were not fond of at the time, let's say, a coworker or a boss, and now you would be happy to see him or her now. Perhaps, in high school, you had a teacher that everyone made fun of. You wouldn't make fun of that teacher now. You might embrace that teacher now. You might give a lot for an opportunity to look into that teacher's eyes. There is something about much of the past that you dream of now. You might feel privileged to yearn for the past or to mourn for it, that you had felt great worth in the first place. Let life be what it is. Probably, you love life more than you give yourself credit for. Channeled by Gloria Wendroff. Heavenletters.org